To make this bracelet, you need at least 1 loom or 2 looms if you want it to fit around your wrist without an extension. I will be using 2 looms today. Have your bar pin set up in a stagger position like so, one in front of the other. So to get started, we're going to start by laying single chain borders on the sides. Now the color that you choose is what is going to be the color that I used for the rainbow in this bracelet. So it's like on the inside, and you can see it running up the edges on the back side. So that's the color we're going to lay first. I'm going to alternate. I'm going to use my medieval bands from rainbowloom.com, 2 different colors. And you want to grab 1 band, it doesn't matter which color, and we're just going to place it here for when we close it up at the end. So now I'm going to go out to the left and the right. So I did my right first, and now I'll do my left. And now we're going to go up both sides. So one in front of the other, just a single chain. Like I said, I'm going to alternate my colors. You can like go back and forth, or you can do one side at a time. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do my right side, then I'll come back to my left. They're so sticky. Not really much to say for this part, because I'm sure everyone can do this part. For my wrist size, I'm going to stop 3 pins shy of the end. And of course, depending on what bands you use can definitely affect that. So I have 3 pins left, so now on the last one, I'm just going to bring it in to the center. Like so. So now I'm just going to come back to my left side down here, back at the beginning, and now I'll do the same thing over here. And you're just going to take this to the top, just like you did the other side. And then when you get to the end, just bring it into the center. I'm going to go ahead and get my left side laid, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've laid my left side. Bring the last one into the center like so. Go ahead and push down your band some, and then come back to the beginning of the loom. And now we're going to lay our center bands. So it's going to be another single chain, but now we're going to switch colors, or at least I'm going to switch colors. I would recommend switching so that it doesn't blend in. So the black is the one that we're laying right now, but I'm going to use my new pearl pink, I think it's called. So, and then on this one I used the blue. So that can help you decide what color you want to use. And we're just going to, oh, actually I don't want to use the pink, I'm sorry. Apologies, I want to use my clear glitter silicone bands. So we're just going to lay a single chain up the center now. And you're just going to take this to the top as well. Okay, so that was my last one. So now just push your bands down because we have to now add on one more layer. So take a moment, push your bands down, and come back to the beginning. So this is where I'm going to use my pink. And what we're going to do is we're going to be laying a bunch of triangles. So we'll lay the left side and then we'll come back and do the right. So you want to start on the first left pin here, and we're going to be wrapping it around these three in the shape of a triangle. So just stretch it around all three. And I like to make sure my bands are not twisted. So it should look like that. And now we're going to connect it on these three here. And we're going to just continue doing that. So where the last one ended is where the next one will start. We'll just continue doing this all the way up. And then we'll come back down and we'll do the right side. Oh, and I did mean to mention, for the bands that we're using right now, for the triangles, I would recommend not using a super tight band. You want it to be able to stretch, you know, fairly easy. I'm not saying it has to be a jelly band, but I wouldn't use something that's super, super tight. Only because when we go to loop it, it does create some fair amount of tension. So keep that in mind. And I'm sorry I didn't say that in the beginning. Before I loop, I'll usually go back through and just make sure that they're nice and straight. It just makes it come out a lot nicer in the end. Okay, so just leave my last one, and that's where it should end. So now you're just going to need to push them down a little bit, and we're going to come down and we're going to start the same thing on the right side. So you're starting on the first peg on the far right, and stretching it around those three pins. And then you'll do the same on the next one. And it's basically connecting to the left side. So it should look like that. I'm going to finish my right side. And when I reach the top, I'll be right back. Okay, so I laid my last band on the right here. So this is what your loom should look like. All the way down. So I would go ahead and just push them down a little bit. So now we can go ahead and start the looping process. So we're going to turn our loom around. So the arrows are now facing yourself. And the last thing we need to do is add a cap band onto this very front pin here. So I'm going to use the same color that I used underneath here, because that's what it's going to end up matching up with, which was my medieval blue or teal. So we're just going to place it on and wrap it again. So it's a double cap band. And now we can start the looping process. So the first thing we're going to do is go in our cap band, grab that top band, and we're going to bring it forward. So for me, that would be my glitter. And we're just going to bring that forward. And now we'll bring the left and the right side out. So go back in your cap band, grab the next band, bring it back to itself. Go back in, grab the next band, and bring that back to that self, which would be to the left for me. So now what we're going to do, it's a little bit different than what we are used to. And this is why I said to use a little bit of a stretchier band, because we're going to go in this center pin here and we're going to grab, let me just zoom in a little. We're going to grab the left triangle first because that's on top, and we're going to stretch it back to itself, which is going to wrap around both of the pins. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to grab the top band. I pull up first as if I'm just going to wrap it around that top pin, but then you have to also stretch it down so that it's around the bottom pin as well. So that whole band should be wrapped around these two. And then we'll go back in the middle, grab that top band, and do the same on the right side. So I like to go up first and then stretch it down so it's around both of those pins. Okay, so once you do that part, we have to loop the borders. So you're going to go in, push back all of your top layer bands and grab that very bottom band, and we're going to bring that to the center. It's not going to go back to itself. So bring that up and hook to the center, like so. And we'll do the same to the right side, grabbing or pushing back the whole top layer of bands, grabbing that bottom, and connect it to the center, like so. Once you do that, we will pretty much start that all over again. So we'll go in the center, push back, grab the bottom band, and bring it forward. And now we need to loop our triangles again. So we'll go in the center, grab the top triangle, connect it to the top left pin, and then stretch it down to the bottom part, like so. So again, it's wrapping around both of these pins here. Just going to straighten my band out. And we have to do the same to the right side. Stretch it up and around the top pin and the bottom. So now we need to do the borders again. So we'll go inside this pin here, push back. Make sure you're getting inside both of the bands. Grab the bottom and bring it to the center. Do the same on the right side. Like so. Now we'll go inside here and we'll start that all over again. So we'll push back, grab the bottom band and bring that forward. And now we'll do our triangle. So we'll grab the top band, stretching it to the top and the bottom pin. Do the same on the right side. And now we'll do our borders again. So go inside of here, grab the bottom band, and bring it to the center. Repeat on the right side. So we're going to keep repeating that. Bring your middle forward. And now it's time to loop our triangle. Loop it up and down. I know my hand's like all up in the camera. Sorry. And now the border band. Bring it to the center. So it's quite easy once you get the hang of it. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then I will go off camera. So I'll do it one more time explaining it, and then I'll go off camera. So the start of it would be grabbing the bottom band, looping it forward, going inside that center, grabbing the top triangle band, and we have to loop it around the top pin and the bottom pin. So it's going around, back to itself around those two pins, and then you do the same on the right side. Go around the top and the bottom pin. Then you loop your border, and you bring that into the center. So I'm quite confident that you guys will get it. Like I said, it's really easy once you get the hang of it. And it should look like this so far. So continue doing that, and when we get to the top, I'll be right back. Okay, so the last thing that I did was looped my middle band here forward. And, oh, you know what? I didn't want to do that. We want that middle one to actually, I don't think it really is going to matter too much. So I already looped that forward, so now we'll just loop the left and the right side in. So I'll grab the left and the right. Yeah, that is actually how it's supposed to be. I thought it was the other way, but they're supposed to be on top, so ignore what I was saying a second ago. Alright, so now we have a band on the outside that we placed for closure. So push back your bands and grab a hold of that band. And pull up. And then reattach to the other side. And this is where we will attach our C-clip. Now, I don't recommend just pulling it off of the loom because the triangle bands that we looped can get all twisted up. So I think you should take the time to release them like I'm doing, but it's certainly up to you. I'm going to take my time and go ahead and release them with my hook, and then I will be right back. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull straight up once I have my sides released. And I've been super nervous to see how this is going to turn out with the bands that I've used. I wasn't sure how this pink jelly is going to, I'm not even sure if it's a pink jelly, but how the pink would work with the medieval bands. So, very curious. Alright, so take it off of your loom. I would like to stretch it out a little bit. I think it came out rather cute. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot you need to do. It is reversible, so this would actually be the back side, the side with like the single chain running out of it. If you wear it on the back, you can definitely like bend it like that to make that design pop out a little more. So I love that side, actually. I think it's cute. But then if you want to wear it on this side, you can always just bend it this way, which this is actually the signature side of it. And that will make it pop, the design pop up more. Like so. So come around, grab your C-clip, and then you have your cap band from the beginning and just attach. Like so. Alrighty. I think this is a super cute design. Once again, this is the Casey bracelet created by Wave Loomers on Instagram. She did a fabulous job on it, and actually it was her eldest daughter who created it, so they did a wonderful job. Tag her as well as myself, Loves to Loom, if you do make this bracelet. Also hit the like button below if you haven't done so already. So hopefully you guys like this as much as I do, and I'll see you all at my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!